If we are to survey the landscape of the 20th century, a terrain scarred by war, revolutionized by industry, and haunted by the spectre of totalitarianism, two figures stand as colossi, casting long, prophetic shadows over the modern human condition: George Orwell and Aldous Huxley. While Orwell's 1984 painted a nightmare of grey concrete, boot-stamping oppression, and the active suppression of truth, Huxley envisioned something far more insidious and perhaps far more accurate to our current reality. Huxley did not fear the banning of books. He feared a world where there would be no reason to ban a book, for there would be no one who wanted to read one. He did not tremble at the thought of information being withheld, but rather of information being given in such a deluge that we would be reduced to passivity and egoism, drowned not in silence, but in noise. Orwell feared that what we hate would ruin us. Huxley, with a terrifying prescience, feared that what we love will ruin us. To understand the architecture of this fear, we must first look to the architect. Born in 1894 inches, the quiet town of Godalming, England, Aldous Huxley was the scion of a formidable intellectual dynasty. His grandfather, T.H. Huxley, was a renowned biologist known as Darwin's bulldog, the man who coined the term agnostic. From the cradle, Aldous was steeped in the rigorous, analytical waters of high-level scientific thought. This lineage did not merely offer him a pedigree, it instilled in him a unique lens through which to view the world, a lens where biology, psychology, and technology intersected. However, the trajectory of his life was irrevocably altered by a tragedy of the body. In his adolescence, harbouring dreams of becoming a doctor, Huxley was struck by a severe eye disease, keratitis punctata, that plunged him into near total blindness for 3 years. The medical path was severed. Yet, in the cruel economy of fate, what was taken from his sight was returned to his insight. Forced to turn inward, the young Huxley began to cultivate an interior vision, a way of seeing the structures of society that superseded the need for physical optics. He enrolled at Balliol College, Oxford, shifting his focus to English literature, and eventually found himself teaching at Eton College, where, in a stroke of historical irony, a young Eric Blair, later known to the world as George Orwell, sat in his classroom. But it was a brief stint at a chemical plant in the 1920 seconds that would provide the mechanical heartbeat for his magnum opus. Huxley described this environment as an ordered universe in a world of planless incoherence. Here, amidst the gleaming chrome and the rhythmic thrum of machinery, he saw a terrifying microcosm of the future. He witnessed a society hell-bent on efficiency, where human beings were not individuals with souls, but standardized components in a vast industrial metabolism. This chemical plant was the womb from which Brave New World would be born. Published in 1932, Brave New World is often misremembered as merely a science fiction novel. In reality, it is a philosophical treatise on the extinction of the human spirit. The narrative transports us to the world state, a global hegemony where the messy, painful variables of human existence have been mathematically eliminated. There are no parents, for citizens are decanted in hatcheries, genetically tinkered with to fit into a rigid caste system, alphas to rule, epsilons to labour, each biologically predetermined to be content with their servitude. In this sanitized utopia, stability is the god before whom all kneel, conflict is obsolete. Melancholy is treated as a biological error, easily corrected with a gram of soma, a pharmaceutical sacrament that offers a holiday from reality. As the world controller Mustafa Mond explains to the protagonist, John the Savage, The world's stable now. People are happy. They get what they want, and they never want what they can't get. It is a world of perfect, suffocating happiness. And this is precisely why it is a dystopia. The brilliance of Huxley's narrative lies in the character of John the Savage, a man born outside the world state on a reservation, raised on a diet of Shakespearean tragedy and tribal ritual. When John is brought to the civilized London, he does not see a paradise. He sees a graveyard of meaning. He sees a civilization that has traded the sublime for the pleasant, the profound for the trivial. In the world state, everyone belongs to everyone else. Intimacy is merely recreational. Love is considered a primitive neurosis. The central conflict of the book is not a battle of armies, but a battle of values. It poses the most dangerous question a human being can ask. What is the price of happiness? Mustafa Mond argues that the price is high art, freedom, and truth. He posits that you cannot have a stable society if people are allowed to feel the deep, jagged emotions that inspire great poetry or revolutionary thought. Happiness is never grand, Mond admits. It lacks the glamour of a struggle against misfortune. Huxley forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality that we might actually prefer the cage, provided it is plush enough. Initially, Huxley wrote the book as a parody of the utopian ideals popular in the early 20th century. He viewed the blind faith in technological progress with cynical anti-idealism. Yet, as the decades wore on, the parody began to curdle into prophecy. By the late 1952, Huxley looked back at his creation with a shudder of recognition. He realized that the nightmare of total organization was not centuries away, but waiting just around the corner. This acceleration was driven by the burgeoning science of psychology, particularly the behaviorist theories of B. F. Skinner and Ivan Pavlov. Skinner's work with operant conditioning demonstrated that behavior could be engineered. If you reward a rat for pressing a lever, it will press the lever. If you reward a human for docile compliance with pleasure and comfort, they will not only obey, they will love their servitude. Huxley foresaw a dictatorship without tears, a painless concentration camp where the fences are made of distractions and the guards are our own desires. When we look at the 21st century, it is difficult to deny that Huxley's vision has largely come to pass, not through the decree of a tyrant, but through the mechanism of the market. We have built our own world state. We carry the levers of conditioning in our pockets. The smartphone, the algorithm, the 24-hour news cycle. These are the modern delivery systems for our daily dose of soma. We are flooded with dopamine, constantly engaged in a feedback loop of digital validation and trivial entertainment. We find ourselves swimming in a sea of irrelevance. The truth is not hidden. It is simply buried under an avalanche of cat videos, celebrity scandals, and polarized outrage. We have access to all the knowledge in human history, yet we often lack the attention span to process it. A nihilistic complacency has set in. Why struggle for meaning when distraction is so cheap? Why confront the void when we can scroll past it? We are, in many ways, the rats in Skinner's box. We press the lever, we get the pellet of information or validation, and we press it again. We are driven by ancient biological imperatives, the desire for connection, for status, for novelty, hijacked by a technological environment that knows us better than we know ourselves. We are drifting on the surface of the floodwaters, clutching our amusements, forgetting that there is an ocean of depth beneath us. Yet, despite this grim diagnosis, Huxley leaves us with a choice. It is the choice articulated by John the Savage in the novel's climax. Confronted with the option of a painless, meaningless existence, John rejects the synthetic paradise. "I don't want comfort. he declares. I want God. I want poetry. I want real danger. I want freedom. I want goodness. I want sin. John claims the right to be unhappy, because unhappiness is the proof of freedom. It is the grit in the oyster that makes the pearl. Huxley reminds us that the things which make life worth living, love, art, discovery, connection, are invariably tied to the capacity for suffering. To excise pain is to excise humanity. In his final years, Huxley offered a potential antidote to the brave new world he predicted. In his last novel, Island, he depicted a different kind of society, one rooted in mindfulness and compassion. On this island, the birds are trained to mimic human speech, but they do not repeat slogans of state control. Instead, they chirp a simple, profound instruction to the inhabitants. Attention. Here and now, boys. Here and now. Perhaps this is the only weapon we have left against the flood of distraction and the sedation of comfort, attention. The conscious, difficult act of waking up, of refusing the soma, and engaging with the raw, unfiltered reality of the present moment, pain, beauty, and all.